Now, when you first begin hearing this stuff, it's really annoying. In fact, years into it, it still is annoying. Because finally you come to the place where you have to accept. We want you to accept. We believe you will accept, and when you do, you'll be glad that you are the only one who can throw resistance into your mix. Only you. Feels like that inappropriate person doing that inappropriate thing is the one that is causing the resistance. But really, it's your perspective of that inappropriate person doing that inappropriate thing, because the source within you does not see that as an inappropriate person doing an inappropriate thing. And when you do, you introduce contradiction into your vibrational equation. Esther has been laughing at herself because sometimes she feels negative emotion and she will stop and say to herself, that was unnecessary. Because she is coming to understand that she is the one who is throwing 100% of the resistance on her own path of least resistance. It would be a path of no resistance if she wasn't throwing stuff on the trail. And the same is true for you. If you don't put it there, it's not in your mix, and you can stop putting it there. And what you've been putting there will in time peter out if you stop putting it there. After a while, all the stuff you've thrown upon your trail, your path of least resistance, you'll come to the end of it and you'll have clear sailing if you don't keep putting it there, you see. So the resistance that you hold, you would maybe hear it more easily, is in the beliefs that you hold. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking, which means a belief is just a thought that you keep putting on your trail, on your path. Because all of your power is current, it's right now. It's not about what happened before, yesterday or the day before, the year before, the decade before. It's not about what has happened. Your emotions are all about what's happening right now. Your emotions are all about your current vibrational mix. Esther said to us one day, you know, Abraham, if you guys didn't have such a strong, positive opinion, I wouldn't have so much negative emotion. If you could just chill out or leave me alone for a while, ignore me. Can't you focus on, isn't there anybody else on the planet that could use your help right now? But all of you have that attention of source focused upon you in every moment, in every conversation, in every thought. It's your guidance to help you find what you want, to help you find your trail to what you want and who you are. And so we'll be talking today. Don't worry about us. We'll wedge our message in the crack. We'll be talking to you about the path of least resistance. We'll be talking to you about the law of attraction that manages all vibrational frequencies. We'll be talking about your emotional guidance system and your ability to focus. And most of all, we'll be talking about momentum, which is the same word as law of attraction, because whatever you're giving your attention to, law of attraction is responding to, which is causing an increase in whatever you're giving your attention to, which is what momentum is. When you sort of want something, there's some momentum, not much. And when you sort of don't believe it, there's sort of opposing momentum. So you've got a little wobble going on here. You want it, but you want it, but you want it, but you want it, but you want it, but. No big deal. But when you really, 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 really want something that you really, 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 really don't expect, you've got a big time wobble going on. In other words, that feels awful. That feels terrible to you. Someone said to us the other day, Abraham, how does one get rid of doubt? And we said, you do it before it starts. The maybe most unsatisfying answer that we've ever given to anyone. It's like, oh, this hurts. Well, don't do it anymore. But we really want you to hear that, because it's easier for you to control your wobble in the early stages. Law of attraction is responding to you right here, right now. So if you want it but you doubt it, there's a wobble going on. And if you keep focusing upon what you want and you keep maintaining the same doubt, and sometimes you do, you say to your friends, you've got that dialogue going, why is this taking so long? Why is that person getting that thing that I want? Where's mine? Why is it taking so long for it to come to me? And we say, you're asking and doubting, you're wobbling, because you're introducing contradictory vibrations, because every subject is really two subjects, wanted and absence of it. So you got to clean up your vibration. You got to clean up your perspective. You got to stop the wobble. But don't wait until you're wobbling so much that you're knocking bridges down with it. Stop it in the early subtle stages. And that's why we want you to know that when you slumber, your point of attraction ceases. While you're asleep, your wobble stops. And when you awaken, you can begin by focusing on things that don't wobble. So Esther, she hears us and she believes us. And everything that we encourage in terms of processes, she does. So she gets hold of this wobble thought. And she heard us say, wake up in the morning, you're not wobbling. See how far you can get until you start wobbling. 10 seconds. Because the tendency is to wake up and remember what the worst thing was that happened yesterday, or what are the problems that I have to deal with. She sat sort of forgetting everything that she ever learned from us the other day in the middle of trying to make a decision about something, and actually wrote a pro and con list. And about 3 minutes into it, her brain froze up. She could hardly see the words on the page. Her hand was like a claw. She could hardly hold the pen. As she realized she was deliberately introducing wobble into her own experience. Well, this is a good thing about it, but this is a bad thing about it. And this is a good thing about it, and this is a bad thing about it. And we said, talk about deliberate wobble. Your human rational mind says, no, this is the way we figure things out. We say, no, this is the way you wobble. This is the way you prevent clarity from ever coming. Just weigh the pros and the cons and the pluses and the minuses and everything. Just be the most objective person on the planet, and you will wobble till the end of your days here. You see. What you want to do is think about what you want, and think about what you want in ways that feel good when you think about what you want. Because when you think about what you want and you feel good as you think about what you want, you are thinking good about what you want in the same way that we are thinking good about the way you want, and there's no wobble between you and your source. And that's the wobble you want to take care of. Not the one between all the other parents who are practicing all the other parenting skills. Not the one between all the other scientists or all the other religions that are sorting things out. The only wobble that you got to deal with is your own personal vibrational wobble. Because when it isn't there, you've got clarity. And when you've got clarity, you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. You are guided. You are in tune with infinite intelligence. And your impulses, your feelings, those urges will come from that clear place. And if you've been listening to us for a while, you have heard us say that one who is connected to who you really are is more powerful than millions who are not, you see. That's where you hook up with that energy that creates worlds. That's how you become the receiver of the ideas. And more important, that's how you become the receiver of feeling good now. So your mood moves around a bit from eagerness to love to appreciation to true passion and empowerment, to a feeling of invincibility. But you feel steady, you feel sure, you feel solid on your path. Feels good to feel good, doesn't it? So Esther, wanting to check her wobble early in the day, because she really heard us when we said, stop doubt before it starts, because once you've got doubt going, that's a big wobble. And it's hard to stop that wobble once law of attraction has got hold of both aspects of that. And so she began writing, and she was thinking, all right, what things are wobble-free for me? Well, there are so many. She was in California at the time, looking out the window at beautiful gardens. And she just focused on a flower, and she thought, there's no wobble there. Look at that beautiful thing. And then she thought about how many flowers are there, how many flowers are on the planet, how much beauty there is, how much beauty in nature there is. Still no wobble. She got thinking about the water in the sprinkling system that takes care of her gardens. No wobble there. She got thinking about the municipal water systems. Such appreciation she feels about all of that. No wobble there. She got thinking about the earth spinning in its orbit and the sun coming up every morning. Nothing for her to do anything about, and no wobble there. Then she got focused upon things like the FedEx truck. The FedEx truck that's going to bring her stuff today. No wobble there. He's going to put it in that box. She's going to go out, and there it's going to be. She just called Amazon yesterday. No wobble there. In other words, so much. And before she knew it, she was moving in such a momentum of appreciation of the technology of the planet, of things like websites, of the access that you all have to so many beautiful things, to the restaurants and the restaurant owners and the hotels and the hotel owners, and the technology. And she could have sat there, it felt to her, all day long and not had a wobble, because she began in this stable place. For years, she's thought about the treehouse. No wobble there. Well, there is a little wobble because it's 30 feet. You'll see the treehouse. Don't get too many of you in, it'll wobble. She thinks about grandchildren. She thinks about friends. She thinks about all of you. She thinks about us. In other words, don't you have so many subjects that you have no wobble? And if we can convince you that if you will just begin every day wobble-free, that law of attraction will take you at your wobble-freeness and will amplify the vibration of your being, and before you know it, you will have a clear, pure, and therefore powerful vibrational momentum going, which is what your point of attraction is. Your point of attraction, that's everything. Your point of attraction, you're emanating a signal, and your signal's being matched. And as that signal is being matched that you are emanating, that's what your life is. So since you've got control of your wobble, you've got control of your signal, you've got control of everything that comes back to you. You've got control of your perception of everything, which means you can live happily ever after. Now we know you're nosy. You want to stick your nose in where it doesn't belong. You've been trained to be objective, and you've got cable news on your television. And so you have access to all kinds of information. But what Esther has come to know, what she has proven to herself, is that those cable news networks, they are doing the exact opposite of what she's doing. She's trying to be wobble-free, and they are looking for the biggest wobble on the planet. They're looking for the biggest wobble, and they're bringing it right into your living room, and they're dramatizing it with music. So you sort of kind of have to decide. Do you want to be in your own power, or you just want to wobble around? You want to just sort of stumble into things? Do you want to be deliberate in the vibration that you offer, and therefore be the deliberate creator of your own reality? Or do you want to be someone who just observes with no attention and no caring and no deliberate working on focusing, and therefore be a creator by default? Most everybody you know is a creator by default, because most people, their point of attraction is because of what they are observing, and they are observing all over the place. But what you'll begin to notice is as you begin to observe purposefully, law of attraction will bring you more of that.